Now, may I invite Mr. David Young Lee, a very interesting gentleman. He's from Korea. Please, sir. Amongst the many hats that David wears, I will identify two, and he's here today because of one of them. In Korea, there was a movement started in the 1960s known as the New Village Movement, right? And it was quite a success. And then, as society's progress, change happens, some ideas, some plans, they evolve in certain ways. He is the international director of this New Village Movement in Korea. That's one hat. And we look forward to hearing his views on that. But the other hat which he wears, another very interesting, is Peace Korea. This is an organization in Korea which is working for and promoting peace between North and South Korea. So that's indeed a very noble task and a mission you're doing, sir. We really congratulate you for, or not congratulate you, or yes we do. But I mean, let's hope that we have that peace across the borders. So that said, now I invite him to share his ideas and thoughts, lessons learned in Korea. Korea has been a miracle economy, right? We hear about the Asian tigers, Korea, Taiwan, etc. So how Korea decided about it and how was the success, where is it now, or any other thoughts that you would like to share. And by the way, they'll also be announcing a Korea-Meghalaya corridor on healthcare. In the Northeast, the Korean culture is quite popular, I think some of us would know. And just again, by chance, the fact that we named this event today, or the room, after Molenong village, the village in Meghalaya, we were talking to them. So they said, okay, why don't we try and create a cultural bridge? There already are definitely exchanges, but why don't we try and create a cultural bridge as well as a bridge on healthcare and clean energy between Korea and the state of Meghalaya. They are also inviting the Honorable Chief Minister to visit Korea next month maybe, but I'll leave all of that to him and what his thoughts are. David, a pleasure, sir.
Respected Chairman of Image India Institutes and Come Clean India Movement, and the Honorable Patrick Okabe, Member of Parliament in Uganda, and Honorable Dr. Udit Raj. In fact, Dr. Udit Raj and Mr. Ravinder Sachdev has been a long-time friend of mine, and Patrick Okabe, the Member of Parliament in Uganda, also a long-time friend of mine. And ladies and gentlemen who participate in this auspicious occasion, I'm so honored to be here today. I'm director of the Canaan Farmers School, which is known as a precursor of well-known South Korean model of development, that is New Village Movement. In fact, a few years ago, I made a visit with the international president of Canaan Farmers School movement to meet with His Excellency Dr. Abdul Kalam when he was alive. He was quite interested in the South Korean New Village Movement and how India could connect and cooperate, collaborate with the South Korean model of development, that is New Village Movement. Dr. Kalam was promoting Pura, that is the abbreviation of providing urban amenities in rural India. So he see the common things in both movements. So I met with the president of Canaan Farmer School 3 times with His Excellency Dr. Kalam, and I learned a lot from him, and Dr. Kim also. And I could see a possibility of doing together both countries for development, which makes the society sustainable. New Village Movement in Korea is a movement which has made Korea today. 60 years ago, South Korea was one of the poorest countries, which was even compared to the poorest countries in Africa at that time. Now Korea joined the OECD club, that is the club of developed countries. Up till late 1970, South Korea received aid, but now we do not receive aid, but we give aid. And we are paying back the blessings that we have received. I'm so proud of the country that I'm from, because I see the clear signs of transformation that could be replicated in other countries. Now, I'm a Vice Chancellor of Kumi University in Uganda. That is one of the initiatives that Korean people do, because we want to pay back the blessings that we have received to the countries which are behind, but obviously will become a developed and prosperous country. I learned about India development, whose development model is connectivity driven. I know Dr. Abdul Kalam was called as the president of connectivity, and that thing I learned. Now, I also learned very significant lessons from my longtime friend, Mr. Ravinder Sachdev, who started a Come Clean India campaign. In fact, the New Village movement was based upon Clean Korea movement. Now, what's outside is the expression of what's inside. So, Clean Korea was so important because when we become clean, the outer world, that's the expression of what's inside of us. That means if we clean our minds, then we can have a clear mindset, which makes science and technology important, because for the development of society, we need to see the importance of law and order. You know, we should know how to organize our mind, our mind in a very clear way. So, New Village Movement was foundationally based upon Clean Korea movement. And now, Clean India movement is so inspiring. I'm learning a lot from my friend, Mr. Ravinder, and his colleagues. And now, Honorable Patrick Okabe declared a few minutes ago that he wants to start Clean Uganda campaign. In the parliament and overall society, I see an emerging value coalition, especially among those 3 countries, South Korea in the Far East, and India in South Asia, and Uganda in East Africa. I see the value coalition around the Clean India movement to emerge, and that is a clean diplomacy. I see Mr. Ravinder and his colleagues is actually doing diplomacy, and that is a clean diplomacy around the theme clean society. India has a very good model of development, and Jugaad, the idea of Jugaad is a very exciting idea that I want to apply to Korea and to East Africa too. So Mr. Robin Dar is now thinking to plant a center of Jugaad, not only in India, but also in South Korea, North Korea, and Uganda and East African countries. I believe that clean India concept, and also House of Jugaad could be two very exciting and inspiring concepts that can make impact upon the nations. So India has a lot to give. Likewise, South Korea has a lot to give. We've been transformed from the poorest to the developed. And through our long experience, we have a lot of good lessons that we can teach, and one of which is New Village Movement. I also believe there are good things that Uganda can teach to the nations. So this is time for a right diplomacy. And when we do together, we can make a great impact upon international society. I thank you so much for inviting me to this event. I'm so honored to become a part of this movement. I invite the Chief Minister of Meghalaya and other leaders to South Korea so that we can learn from each other. And as mentioned, I'd like to see the corridor of development among South Korea, India, and Uganda around the theme of Clean India movement. I believe that that's the diplomacy that we want to go for in the days to come. And thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, David Young Lee. The reason it was so interesting to hear the talk by David Young Lee and his talk of clean diplomacy is because, essentially we are a think tank on Indian foreign policy and diplomacy kind of areas, and communications and India's relations and India's image actually. So when we started, we thought that if we are good in communications, or if we try to do something in communications, let's try and do something for a cleaner India. And our passion, of course, as a clean India. So that's how we came on board on this.